Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, August 25th. I'm Jimmy Prince for the details. We bring you our early edition of the news this evening because of cricket. In the news tonight, finding a temporary location to house the mental health facility during the reconstruction phase of the existing center was no easy task. So says Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Louis Deschamps, as health officials met with residents of Orange Hill and surrounding areas on Saturday in a town hall meeting on the temporary relocation exercise. The renovation work at the existing facility at Glen is expected to last at least 1 year. PS Deschamps said the ministry looked at locations other than Orange Hill to relocate the facility, but it was a challenging process. Deschamps reassured the North Windward residents that having such a facility in their community posed no threat to their security. He explained that the facility was at its current location in Glen for some time and that the residents have interacted peacefully with the community.
It took us some time to get some agreement to bring it to a particular community. We tried initially to engage other communities to welcome this mental health center to the different communities which we had established contact with. But there was an absolute lack of understanding for what really ought to be, what really should be. And I think one of the things we have to understand is that people who have mental issues are our people. They are our brothers, our sisters, our children, our parents. And it's just that we have to be kind and understanding and loving towards them so that they could feel appreciated. Because at some point we have to welcome them back into everyday life.
Meanwhile, the North Windward residents were told that the temporary relocation of the mental health facility to the area brings with it an opportunity of employment. PS Deschamps explained that relief workers are required from time to time and that the residents of the area will be given the opportunity to pick up shifts whenever full-time members of staff are out.
We have taken a decision to engage people from this community and up to come on board as relievers for 5 days, for a week, in every instance when somebody is sick, when somebody is on vacation, meaning when a member of staff, on the permanent staff, is sick or on vacation. It makes no sense to us to continue bringing people from as far as Layu to work as a reliever up here in North Windward. So people from Orange Hill, from Ovia, from Sandy Bay, from Georgetown, they can come on board.
As part of the diversification of the agricultural sector here, the Ministry of Agriculture has signed a memorandum of understanding with Windfresh for the export of 6 40-foot containers of root crops to the United Kingdom on a weekly basis. To this end, a 3-member team from Windfresh, including its Chief Executive Officer Bernard Conibert, Procurement Officer Phil Collins, and Purchasing and Logistic Manager Cuthbert Joseph, are on a 2-day mission here. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, Sabota Caesar, that should be the Minister of Agriculture, Sabota Caesar, the visit shows the commitment of both the government and Windfresh to increase the exports of agricultural produce to the UK. Caesar said both parties are cognizant that market access is critical for growth in the agricultural sector. During their time here, the officials will visit several dasheen, sweet potato and ginger farmers as part of the effort to create the farmer base necessary to facilitate the export to the United Kingdom. Well, 396 Vincentians have so far been granted the opportunity to pursue studies in Cuba. Last Friday, a cocktail was hosted by the Cuban Embassy in Rathamil to send off an additional 7 Vincentian students to commence studies in the Spanish-speaking country. 6 of the students will be studying medicine and the other pursuing studies in cinema. And the Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Clayton Bergen, in his address said the health sector here particularly continues to benefit significantly from assistance and other forms of donations from the people and government of Cuba.
The health sector in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but now the airport has benefited the most from the generosity of the Cuban government and the people of Cuba. So I wanted to put your hands together for Cuba. because I want to believe if you would have checked the 396, 97 students, more than half would have been for the health sector. Just recently, well, over 40,000 returned, more than that, 60 plus went to Cuba to study to do a degree in nursing. And since in the 70s, we have been having doctors, dentists, and all other health persons studied in Cuba.
Still ahead, a Park Hill woman seeks answers over the shooting death of her husband. More stories on the local scene when we come back. Welcome back. Police are continuing their investigation into the shooting death of 63-year-old Charles Ryan of Park Hill on Saturday morning. Ryan, better known as Charlo, was shot in the head while making his way back home. Wife Janice Ryan told SVG Television News that her husband ran from the spot where he was shot and collapsed in the vicinity of their yard. The distraught wife said prayer is what is keeping her focused during this period of grief. According to Ryan, someone brought it to her attention that her husband was lying on the street covered in blood shortly after 1 on Saturday morning. She said that she helped to get him to the Georgetown Health Facility, but it was already too late. Ryan said that she last saw her husband Friday evening.
The last time I saw my husband alive was Friday night at a little after 9 o'clock. He left, was to, first of all, he left here around about 7:30, some minutes to 8 on Friday evening, and he said that he was going up to pay some workers that had worked with him. And then around a little after 9 o'clock he came back and he had something to eat. And then he said he was going back up the road. So that was the last time I saw him alive.
The couple married some 26 years ago, and according to Mrs. Ryan, she is still looking for answers to determine what led to her husband's violent death. She described her deceased husband as hardworking and loving, and said that she wanted to see the perpetrator brought to justice.
I never hear him say that he and anybody got into anything, so I do not know who would want to do that heinous thing to him. But I just pray that whoever it is that we will really know, I will come to find out who is it that did this thing to him. I really would like the perpetrator to be caught. He was a very good man. He was kind to everybody that I know around here, and this entire community can say that he was friendly. I mean, he made his little jokes, and that was it. He was a loved person. He was a very good man.
A post-mortem is expected to be done on Wednesday, and up to news time, no arrest has been made in the shooting death of the former shopkeeper and the farmer.